Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we'll open with a word of prayer. So our Vice President, Mr. Lumiere Smith, would open with a word of prayer.
Let us pray. Our Father and our God, this morning we come, Lord, to give you a high note of praise for your goodness, your grace, and your mercies. Indeed, Lord, you see it fit for us to have another day, and we thank you. We thank you, Lord, for health and strength. And Lord, as we gather this day, we ask, oh Father, that you will visit us for just a little while. Father, you know our hearts. You know our desire. But we ask that thy will be done. And Father, as we now proceed, we ask that you take full control. In Jesus' name we ask this. Amen. Amen.
We send greetings to everyone, and I'd like to thank you very much for the very short notice in which you were able to gather here. As you're aware, campaign 2011 and decision 2011 has been concluded on Monday, 7th November. And this is fitting that we come together as a team to give the respect and regards to all those who participated in the process, not only the 13 candidates on the Virgin Islands Party team, but all of the 43 contestants, all the 43 contenders for the 13 seats. As we have mentioned before, we know going in that 13 members would be successful in terms of gaining a seat to the second House of Assembly, and we also know that 30 members would not have been as fortunate. But when the observers were called in, we noted then that maybe they will learn a thing about holding fair, free, and violent-free elections. So at the end of the day, we would like to congratulate all those who took part in the process without any violence at all. The decisions were eloquently brought to the table in terms of the particular issues at hand were brought to the table. They were addressed by all sides. And as we had invited the actual voting public to do, we report, you decide. The decision has been made and well respected in a process which brings out the actual democratic right and the actual democratic will of the people of the Virgin Islands. So our team is here, and we'd like to be able to have them come to the podium if they could and send remarks. I would have any other comments we have. At the end of it, any questions you may have, you can then ask. So I'd like to call Honorable Ralph T. O'Neill to come to the podium at this time and give his remarks.
Thank you very much for coming here, the press, at such a short notice. We thought it was necessary to have a press meeting so that we could express to all the people who took part in this 2011 election, including the press, our thanks and appreciation for the work that was done, and that the election was carried out in such a peaceful and quiet manner. I wish to congratulate the Premier, Dr. the Honorable, the Honorable Smith, D. Orlando Smith. I tried to get him, as the practice in other constitutional democracies like us, I tried to get him to congratulate him as soon as it was clear that he was the next premier, but up to yesterday I was trying to get him when I thought he was home, but I didn't get an answer on the phone. He couldn't even leave a message. But I wish to congratulate him and his team and look forward to working with them in the new House of Assembly. I know it will have to open very soon, so I look forward to that. In my district, in the 2 polling divisions, one in the Valley and one in the Sun. The only time I went in the one in the Valley, is when I was in there voting. After that, I never bothered to go in because when I went in, it seemed to be well organized, and I had the confidence that it would remain organized like that. And the ones in the song, I didn't go in at all because I heard how it was organized, and I just believed it would flow gently like that, and until the time came for closing. So on the whole, it seemed to have been quite a large vote. I think 77.7%, I think I saw. And that tells that people are becoming more conscious of the benefit of and the usefulness of the elections, and they take more interest in the business. I sincerely hope that they will continue to go forward with progress for the country, for the people, for the children, old people, and everybody. And it is true that our Constitution will need some straightening out here and there, but that is obvious. It continues. It is not a static body. The Constitution has to be looking after how people are going and what is needed, what is necessary, and so on. Quite a noise was made when it was announced that a delegation was coming here to have a look-see at the elections. People seem to forget that that was not the first delegation we had like that. We had one in 1995. But I got a copy of a press release issued by the delegation in which they were satisfied that everything was going well. And in fact, from the tone of the press release, they were surprised that in a small place like this, the elections could go as they went. So, you know, although we're small, we can set an example to some of those countries that are much bigger than us in size and population. Now, we have got to consider that the country is first, and we all got to work for the benefit of the country. And yes, we formed opposition. It is not the first time I've been in opposition. My first term in 1975 was in the opposition. So I've been there since, and as it is said, I will sit with my back to the street, so I wouldn't see what's happening behind me, which is quite a change from where I was at the last house. But never mind, it is a democracy, and you never can tell who will harm the next government or the next government. And it goes and counts, and all we have got to do is make sure that we make our contribution in whatever area we find ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Campaign 2011, we've had a number of people who have worked diligently in making sure that it was successful in terms of the order and making preparation for all of the stage, the media, and all whatever goes into making a campaign successful. I'd like to give thanks to the executive committee of the President's Party. We have our vice president, he's here. He'll probably have a few things to say later also, but Mr. Lumiel Chichi Smith, he's over here, and I'd like to thank him for all his effort. There are 13 district and territorial at-large committees that whenever we go into a district, they were actually responsible for putting all the programs together. So we'd like to give them thanks for all that they have done in making sure the atmosphere was quite right for what we have. So I think the best way we can do, we can either go from left to right around, or we can go from districts 1 through 9 and then the at-large. So let us take it from districts, because we can have districts. So District 1, Honorable Andrew Foy.
I'd like to say greetings to everyone this morning, and thank everyone for coming out to the press conference for the Bosnians Party. I greet you in the name of the great God who was through His Son Jesus Christ, who has helped us all to get through a free and fair general election in 2011. I want to first of all thank God for His mercies through the election. In winning your district and your party not winning overall, is that you won the battle, but lost a war, so to speak. But still, where there's life, there's hope. I firstly want to thank the people of the 1st District. They have been extremely kind to me and supported me. They have allowed me to have a 4th consecutive term, and an overwhelming victory, about almost 300 votes over the opponent, which is the same 611 votes that I received just about in approximately so in 2007, that I received again in 2011. So it showed the support for me as their district representative continued. So I want to thank them from the bottom of my heart, but for the people of the 1st District, my heart has no bottom. I want to thank my family, my mom, my wife, my 2 sisters, and all those in the district again and even beyond who have been praying and supporting my re-election bid. I want to congratulate all who took part into this 2011 general elections. We had over 40 persons seeking 13 seats. So, while it is the best at times and still the worst at times, in that you won your seat and your government and win it, you still have a lot to thank God for, that at least you're one of the 13 who will have a seat and can continue to fight for the people of this territory. I want to thank my colleagues here in the Bosnians Party. I think that as a team we give it all we had, and democracy was allowed to reign. The government of the day now has the task of moving forward. We want to congratulate the government. I want to let my colleagues know to continue to press on, and let's continue to press on together. Once there's life, there's hope. I want to say that the BVI continues to mature as a country in the way that we deal with elections, and observers obviously have concluded the same. In this vein, I know that the road ahead is quite challenging. Our job now, for those of us, the 4 of us left in the opposition, is to continue to be steadfast in purpose and diligent in actions. I don't see that the Bosnians Party has anything to hold on their head for, because you give it all you had, and while we want to win, the reality is someone would have had to win, someone would have had to lose. It is up to us to continue to work on the areas that we need to work on and adjust. There'll always be a debate on what those areas are, but the fact is that we just need to have an open mind and a clear head, and terms of how we want to move forward in the restructuring and building up the weak areas and continue to strengthen on the areas that were really strong. So I want to say at this time, it's been a pleasure in the 2011 general elections. Life goes on, and we just have to go on and move on with the master guiding each and every one of us, which I know that he did, because he's not political parties polarized. So obviously his will has been done for this time, and we just have to continue to seek his face to make sure that we keep in tune with what his will is in the next move, so that we form part of his will. So to my colleagues, I say thank you. It was a pleasure running with the Voice Alliance Party, a party that has done a lot for the people despite it all. And I know that we'll continue to do a lot. And I just want to say that there's only one way for the Voice Alliance Party right now, which is the most clear way, which is up from where we are. But anything is possible in Father God's will. We intend in our position to be vigilant with the eagle's eyes, but we intend to support what is right, but also make sure that we voice our opinion on the areas that we don't think would be in the best interest of the people. That's the job of the opposition. The job of the government is to do what the government does, and we will see how we go from here. Again, thank all those who voted for the Voice Alliance Party, and even those who didn't, because at least democracy has been allowed to reign in the British Virgin Islands in a free and fair manner. The most we can say is that we'll move on from here and continue to be the model citizens that we always have been. And in the same person that held in their hands the general election of 2011 holds the future, which is God. So we leave ourselves with him. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Foy. I must give apologies for the member from District 8. The notices went out in a hurry, and she had some plans that were scheduled, so don't draw any conclusions. She did have prior engagements and could not make it, but when it comes to District 8, I'll just say a few words. Must congratulate also the new government. They won 5 of the 9 district seats, so they had the majority there. They won 4 of the 4 territorial at-large seats, they had a majority there. They won in terms of popular votes, they had the majority there. So the mandate seems quite clear, and we congratulate them again for their victory and for naming the cabinet yesterday. It was sworn in, I saw it on TV, I was unable to attend. But congratulations go out, as there is a formidable task ahead in light of all that we know of. So I'd like to give congratulations there again also. District number 2, Honorable J. Alvin Christopher.
I would like to first give thanks to Almighty God for sustaining us and sustaining me in particular through this 2011 campaign. I also would like to give thanks first to once again to the people of the 2nd District for giving me another opportunity to serve them at this level. I will always be grateful. I also want to give thanks to my campaign committee for a job well done in bringing us through this 2011 campaign. I also, at this point in time, want to give thanks to all my colleagues of the Virgin Island Party who came out and spoke on my behalf during the course of this campaign. I want to also, at this point, congratulate the Honorable Dr. D. Orlando Smith and his entire National Democratic Party for the success they had at the poll. The people of the territory have spoken, and whatever it takes to move this country forward in terms of support in a positive way, I am willing to make that contribution in supporting them in accomplishing the task that the people of this country has placed on them. But that support wouldn't come without considering and examining every proposal to make sure that they're in line with what the people of these islands want. I would oppose when it is necessary, but I will not oppose when it is not necessary on behalf of the people of this country. The Virgin Island Party is a household name. I believe the party will rise again to the needs and the wishes of the people. Our message was not received this time around, but for 40 years the party has set its goal on developing and enhancing the life of this territory for the people of this territory. The record is clear on what we have accomplished over the years. I think we must regroup, examine where we have made our mistakes, and do whatever within our power, and with the advice of the people of this territory, to correct those mistakes and to continue to build on the legacy which we have started some 40 years ago. We were not successful in retaining the government, but to my colleagues who were not successful at this time, I will say, do not lose hope. Against hope, there's always hope. Maintain a positive attitude and a good open relationship with the people. And I do believe that the opportune time will come again, and this party will rise again and continue to develop this country in and on behalf of the people of these islands. Once again, I want to say thanks to the people, especially the people of the 2nd District, who have given me this opportunity again, and on behalf of all the people of the territory, because I believe I get support from all 9 districts. Someone has called at some point in time with a word of encouragement to press on, and that I am very grateful for. So my people, once again, you can count on me in raising a voice in and on behalf of you, the people of this territory. It has always been my goal, my mandate, and you have given me that confidence again, and I will continue to do that. So once again, to the press, I say thanks for coming out at this short notice, and to all the people, thanks, and may God continue to bless these islands. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Christopher. We see again, as I will come and mention the number of things that we celebrated in this year, that, as you mentioned, 40 years of a rich legacy, 1971 to 2011. So we would like to pay, again, tribute to all those who have made the Virgin Islands Party what it is over the years, many years. And of course, we have 40 years to look forward to. So District number 3, Honorable Julian Fraser.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And good morning, or good day as it is right now, to all of you who've been able to come out to hear us as we meet our constituents for the first time since the general election. I'd like to express my thanks and gratitude to the folks in the 3rd District who has seen fit to, again, bestow their confidence and trust in me to represent them in the 2nd House of Assembly. They must know that without them, there's no me. And I vow and keep my trust to support them in the best way, represent them in the best way possible. My colleagues in the Virgin Islands Party, we were last House of Assembly 11 strong. We campaigned as 13 strong. And the outcome wasn't what we planned or what we had hoped for. But God is in the midst. My mother always said, in everything, give God thanks. And God is the one who have me here today, and to Him I give the glory. It is the will of God that we are here the way we are. If Mr. Malone had planned it, I don't think it could have worked out the way it did, because the 4 elected members on the Virgin Islands Party team happens to be the ones that are speaking first, given that the leader will speak first, and then he went by districts, District 1, 2, and 3. The ruling party, the National Democratic Party, I'd like to extend my congratulations to the Honorable Premier, Dr. DeOrlando Smith, and his team, and I wish them well. I'd like to especially congratulate the Deputy Premier, Dr. Kedrick Pickering, for he has exhibited a tremendous amount of patience. This is his 4th term being elected, and this is the first time he's seeking office. I see Dr. Pickering as a person who someday, in my mind, will be the Premier of the Virgin Islands. So I think that the National Democratic Party deserves, at this point, the patience of the people in the territory. Or the people of the territory need to be patient with the National Democratic Party as they seek to do the work of the people. We, as an opposition, also need to understand, being the former government, need to understand the difficulties that the world is in, and likewise the BVI, and work with the government for the betterment of the territory. I don't see any miracles on the horizon, and I don't think that anyone out there believes there are some miracles out there on the horizon either. I think that there will be challenges, as there were before the elections. I think the challenges would continue, and if there were any false expectations given to the people, which I know of none, then someone should go back and tell them what the truth is, what the realities are. It seems to me as if it's a trend in the territory where after each 4 years, governments change. The last consecutive terms I can recall is the Virgin Islands Party were the ruling party in 1999, and they repeat in 1999. In 2003, the government changed. 2007, the government changed. 2011, the government changed. So it seems to me as if the people of the territory has no function when it comes to changing governments. Only time will tell what's going to happen in 2015. We, as a party, no one needs to tell us where our future lies. Our future lies in the mode of rebuilding. And the sooner we come to grips with the fact that we need to rebuild, the better off the party will be. And I don't think that the members of this party who has been unsuccessful has anything to be ashamed of. I think that they have done their just due. The people have spoken. I want to let them know that without them, I couldn't be standing here today. They went out there night after night. They delivered their message. They supported us as we supported them. And this is the outcome. I'm looking forward to working with the other 3 members on the team. And I'm hoping that we can be a successful team. It's nothing new to us. We've done the opposition stint before, and having to do it again, it is not the most pleasant thing in the world, but it is not the worst either. I think it's a service to the people of the territory, whether you sit in the opposition or you sit in the government. And I can tell you that sitting in the government was not an easy road. It was just very, very difficult for us as ministers of government. And we've done our best. We've done the best we could possibly have done. I don't feel as if I've cheated a soul while I was a minister. And I think that being in the opposition, I will do whatever I can to make sure that my service is appreciated. I want to say thanks to the 3rd District Committee, who has done an exemplary job in getting me here, and for the people of the territory and the district as a whole. I want to say thanks to the 3rd District Committee Youth Arm for the performances that they have rendered and the services that they have given to me. And I want them to know that I'm appreciative to them for that. Again, I said thank you to my colleagues, and we should continue to stick together and do the work of the people of the territory. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Fraser. As we continue to give thanks to those who participated, the youth arm of all of these parties have did a tremendous work, and I must congratulate the NDP for involving the youth and the young folks for as much as it did, and for those district committees and territorial committees from the Virgin Islands Party that actually did this. Also from the PPA, because you had 4 new entrants to the third party, and just offering yourself for service is a big feat in itself. So we must congratulate all those again who participated in such a way. District 4.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen of the Virgin Islands, I greet you in the wonderful name of Jesus. I am Dr. Vincent Scatliff, representative for the 4th District during the First House of Assembly. Today, I wish to take this opportunity to express my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to all of you who supported me during my term in office. I offer special thanks to the voters of the 4th District for your confidence in me over the years, a confidence that allowed me to learn and serve you to the best of my ability. Grateful thanks are also extended to my colleagues with whom I worked during the past 4 years, particularly to those who took the time to teach me the ropes. Thanks also to the support staff of the House of Assembly, especially to my office assistant, without whose assistance it would not have been impossible to achieve the things we were able to achieve. To those of you who supported me and voted for me in the last general election, I thank you for declaring your confidence in me. I especially want to thank my committee for their hard work throughout the campaign, particularly over the last couple of weeks. Although we were not successful in securing a seat in the Second House of Assembly, I believe that there are other ways that we can work together to make this country a place where we can all be proud of. It is therefore my intention to continue to work with you and the leadership of this country to make the BVI a better place for all. To the new National Democratic Party, I congratulate you on your victory and wish you every success as you strive to move this country forward. I especially want to offer my warmest congratulations to my successor, Mr. Mark Vanderpool, and pledge my support to him as he continues to work for the 4th District. To my colleagues of the Virgin Islands Party who have made it to the Second House of Assembly, congratulations, and you have my support. To all the other candidates of the 2011 election who were not successful at the polls, particularly to the younger ones, don't be disheartened. The BVI needs all of us working together. The elected members cannot do it alone. I truly believe that we all have one thing in common. We want what is best for this country. I also believe that one of the most destructive forces on any government is self-interest. A country can only be truly successful when its citizens recognize and embrace a concept of inclusiveness. Perhaps each of us can best help our political leaders and ultimately our country by helping our brothers and sisters who still embrace the concept of individualism to see the integrity, sustainability, and value of inclusiveness to the success of the country as a whole. So let us try to put country first as we unite to make this country a better place for all, today and for generations to come. Thank you, and may God continue to bless the Virgin Islands. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Scanlon. District number 5. Mr. Elvis Harrigan. Honorable Harrigan.
I certainly would start by thanking the Almighty for taking us through the election, giving us the strength, the courage, and the determination to do our best and to go out and garner the amount of votes that we got. Let me get my thank yous out of the way first. I'd like to thank my family for being there with me, my hard-working committee, and all those who weren't a member of the committee but went out and tried their best to get as much vote as possible for my victory, which didn't come. I'd like to thank my colleagues who campaigned with me, our team. We did the best that we could, I think, and even though we weren't successful, the people spoke, and we had to listen because I believe that God was in the midst of all of this. When I lost the election, of course, it was a surprise to me. But when I lost, it didn't take long to get over it because I called the radio stations about probably an hour later and expressed my congratulations to Honorable Lois Christopher. Because I believe that the territory is bigger than us. I always say on the campaign, it was not a joke, it was not a game, and the people spoke, so it was time to quickly move on and ensure that we develop this territory. I said that because I was on the inside and I know the difficulties that we had as a government, and I foresee the difficulties that will be coming this government's way. And we need everybody on board, opposition, government, the rest of the territory, to ensure that we develop our little beautiful nation, to make sure that we are successful moving forward, and we survive the difficulties, especially with the economic difficulties that we have around the world. I'm very disheartened to hear now Greece and Italy, and I know there are a couple more that's going to fall along the wayside. So we thank God for His merciful blessings that He has bestowed upon these islands, and I do wish He continue to smile on us. But we all have to work to make sure that we make these islands be a continued success. I pledge my support to, of course, my colleagues in the opposition to ensure that they keep the government on their toes. I express congratulations to the Premier, the Honorable D. Orlando Smith, and the rest of his cabinet, and all those who were successful in the 2011 general elections. And my next statement is bittersweet because I always thought that the young people should have gotten more involved in the elections. I was happy to see that they did. I really feel good that they did, because with them being a part of the process, it means that the BVI has a bright future. The bitter part of it is, unfortunately, the war against us. And but I express congratulations to all those young persons that took part in the process. I really feel good because I feel now that this country has the future leaders involved in the process. Once again, I thank the media, all of you who are here, for coming out, and let us wish and support the government that is in to ensure that these beautiful islands continue to develop. This is not a joke, and there are serious times ahead of the world, which includes this territory. So let's all get together and work together for the betterment of the territory. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Harrigan. Can't go without thanking my family, relatives, and friends. when we started in the middle of September. And just before, as I mentioned to each of the members, when their districts have been declared and the rallies declared, we have to break down the actual vice president, myself, and the actual coordinating team, write the particular news release telling the media where the next rally is, write the schedule, get it voiced, get it aired, push it out there. So it was 9 continuous weeks of full, all-out support to actually give the team. There were 23 venues that we presented from. So each of them had to be prepared in their own right. So family, relatives, and friends, I'm back. The People's Man, District Number 6, Honorable Omar Wallace Hodge.
Lord, the praise is yours as usual. I would like to give some thanks to a good many people before I go into the meat of the matter. We have our director, Mr. Malone. We have our vice president, Sir William Chichi. I think he's a young fellow. I don't think many of you here know him, but he should stand up. That could recognize him. They have worked very hard. Man, sometimes, even though I walk too and talk a lot, I felt so much for them. Now, and my dear lady Miriam, Dr. Miriam Rodriguez Hodge, how could I forget her? While I was there fighting with the ministry, because you heard one of the speakers spoke of those ministries, they're not easy to man. And if you want to make a success of them, you have to be a giant. And you have to work hard to accomplish what you set out to do. And today I'm very pleased for the effort I have put in. And I know that I have scored an A. Now to my ministry, the former permanent secretary and the present one. Very good people, strong, and of course the staff, loving staff. We work together and we bring everything to fruition that we had to. We couldn't accomplish everything. That's impossible because it moves on and on and on. When it comes to these ministries, it's not a destination, it's a journey. That's why you have change of government, and change of government, we continue to move. There's a gentleman up in Padikila Bay, the chief agricultural officer. I call him the bulldozer. I want to especially thank him too, Mr. Bradwith, and all the other departments and so on that work alongside me, the fisheries department, and so on. Now, the people, the voice you're hearing today is the voice of the people's man. And to you, the people throughout these Virgin Islands, particularly those of the 6th electoral district, your man is still here. I have been defeated for the first time after 32 years. But I'm here as happy as ever can be. And when the time comes, because it's not going to be easy with this economic downturn. And that's why I think one of the first speakers here spoke about patience. And we as Virgin Islanders don't seem to have a lot of that. But you're going to have to deal with that. And so, next I would like to congratulate the present government, the present Premier, Dr. Smith and his team, and hoping that God be with them as they strive forward to keep these Virgin Islands up. Because let me tell you something about these Virgin Islands. I always spoke to you about the giants who brought these Virgin Islands to where they are. And we cannot allow them to slip backward. We cannot allow them to go back. We have to go forward. You always hear me spoke of the world perspective base that these old politicians, these giants, brought forward. But only I can count some on my hand, and I could leave two. The people who I know have tiled upward and making sure that these Virgin Islands stay in place and strong. So I would like to see, because we are not a small country, a small link in the international chain. We are a powerful link in the international chain. And that's why you have to have people at the wheel who are strong and who know what they're doing and who are capable of bringing home the goodies. Because when you sit back now and you listen to television, you look at the television and you listen to the radio. Up this morning I was listening to the bad state that Italy is in. She's so huge that it seems like she's too huge to be bailed out. So I don't know what's going to happen there. It's a problem. Whenever you see the United States of America economy is not doing well, the whole world is in trouble. And sometimes when I hear people talk about China versus America and something, it's not versus in this. America is the nation. 2, 3 of them put together cannot deal with America. The economy of America is so large. They all depend on her to survive. And so we have to be watchful. The watchword today is synergy and belt tightening from here on. And I'm quite sure that the present government is aware of this. And they have to stick their foot, not in mud, but in the hard soil. And I'm quite sure when you have to say to our people, this is the case, because there's a lot of suffering out there, and they're not going to accept that. People out there, they need. You go there, people talk about how are people this, the people that, but it's out the need that they're asking. Need. And that's why the politicians, and I hope the leadership does not change the assistant grant in the ministries. Don't change that. Leave that to the politician. Oh, they will talk about, let that go back to where it belongs. But the people can always find the politician. And it does not matter how cheap he or she is. They can get what they need from them, at least to keep them for a week. That's our people. Our people are in bad trouble. They're suffering from these hardships. And the government going to have to find a way to get things moving forward and fast. I don't know from where. There's a lot of talk about that, but I know it's not going to be better in any other place in the world when it comes to this. You have to keep searching and, as the old people say, contriving and whatever to get things moving forward. And I want to rest my case there and send again congratulations to the people throughout these Virgin Islands, especially the people of the 6th electoral district. All I can say to you, when the pain hits, before you scream, you sort out the people's man. I am here for you. And I'll be listening. I'll get on with my work privately, and don't be afraid to call the people's man. Thank you very much.
Yes, time is fast spent. So congratulations, Premier Honorable Dr. D. Orlando Smith, Deputy Premier Honorable Dr. Kedrick Pickering, Communication and Works Honorable Mark Vanderpool, Health and Social Services Honorable Ronnie Skelton, and Education and Culture Honorable Myron Baldwin, District number 7.
Well, first I would like to thank God for His guidance and for the blessing over the past few months. I thank him for keeping me on the straight and narrow path and ensuring that I was able to run a clean campaign that was focused on our nation, on put forward our nation. I also like to thank God for our country, for it did not suffer the negativeness of what happens to the other countries and the territory. And during this following election, I trust that we can meet again in the spirit of brotherhood and togetherness. We are one people, one nation, and politics should never change that. I feel fortunate to have been afforded the opportunity on 2 occasions to be a part of this very important process. I have learned my many hard, important lessons, and I'll take that and I'll move forward with that throughout my life. I wish to congratulate the National Democratic Party on their victory, especially to the district representative, the Honorable Kedrick Pickering. The people of the 7th District have shown their confidence in Dr. Kedrick Pickering in taking him to be the next representative for the next 4 years. I respect the decision of the people of the 7th District, and many blessings are bestowed upon Dr. Kedrick Pickering as he moves forward, not only for the 7th District, but to represent the BVI as a whole. I must thank my immediate family, my mother, my father, my brother, my sisters, also my cousins, and also my committee members for their hard work and diligence in assisting me in this election. I must admit that the campaign was a tough one, and if you are considering getting into politics, you better work hard and you must be determined. I congratulate you, the members of the VIP party, for those who retain their seats. And I'll be encouraging my other colleagues to steadfast and let's move forward. I'm confident that you will continue to move forward and to assist the people wherever need be. I wish to thank all those individuals who supported me at the polls. I am truly grateful for that support. I also thank the wonderful people of my district and those from the other districts who have came to our lunches and rallies, invited me to their homes, and those who took careful time to listen to my views and listen to my concerns. To the media who have brought coverage to all the events, to the people, therefore I thank you. It was important to me to keep all our people informed of what was happening. I also feel proud and privileged to live in this BVI, in a democratic society where people have the right to speak through the voting process. They asked for a new government, and so it was given. I hereby offer all the elected members my full support, and I will be available for the people of the Virgin Islands and continue to contribute to the development of this country. As a country, we have a tough road ahead, and I will call for well thought out and designed plans, support and cooperation among others in our communities, hard-working public servants, and the support of the private sector. In short, it will take all of us to ensure a better and brighter future for the Virgin Islands. I urge everyone in the BVI to work alongside the new government and to remain diligent to ensure that we'll work and we progress during the next 4 years. Let us put aside all the negative influences and enter into a period of healing and togetherness and move this country forward. Again, I thank you, and with a grateful heart, I thank the people of the Virgin Islands, and I remain your humble servant. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Letson. We have a 76-member Congress, And we'd like to thank them for the decisions they made in choosing the 13 members who ran on the Virgin Islands Party ticket, and just to let them know there's plenty of work ahead as we forge ahead in the rebuild of the Virgin Islands Party. We're going to call Zori at this time. She has to go and lecture at the HLSCC, so she has a tight schedule to get up there and start her lecture. So we're going to call her now at this time to come.
As you know, I'm Zoe Walcott Macmillan. I ran on the Virgin Islands Party ticket as an at-large candidate. We have seen the results of the 2011 election on Tuesday, and the people have spoken quite resoundingly. I stand here today very humbled by a process which allows free will and for democracy to rule. I would like to acknowledge and to thank the members of my committee that have worked tirelessly, very diligently, my family that has supported me quite steadfastly over the last couple of months. You know, the trail was quite long and arduous, a lot of late nights, and I'd like to thank them for their continued support. I also had a number of individuals that were supporting me, not necessarily on the committee. For those individuals as well, I would like to thank them. The lady and the gentleman that you see sitting around this table this afternoon, I doff my hat to you all, and I thank my colleagues for staying the course. I continue to look forward to you putting forward quite what one would consider to be a forward-moving, forward-thinking actions in terms of ensuring that the Virgin Islands moves forward. We have heard a lot said on the campaign trail in terms of country above self. And, you know, while one may say it sounds a bit cliche, I think that in and of itself is quite hitting the nail on the head. I'm hoping that as we move forward with a newly elected government, and at this time I would like to acknowledge and to offer my congratulations to the Honorable Premier, Dr. D. Orlando Smith, and his team, the National Democratic Party, for an aggressive and a hard-fought campaign. I would also like to acknowledge the PPA as well as the independent candidates who offered themselves. You know, it is not an easy task to put yourself up to the public, and they should be commended for a job well done. I also would like to acknowledge and to thank the Congress, which was part of the selection team that put me up as a candidate on the Virgin Islands Party slate. I would like to thank all the Virgin Islands Party members, and would note that as we are guided by the Constitution, that I look forward to a restructuring and a regrouping amongst ourselves in terms of a strategic way forward. Once again, I would also like to acknowledge and to thank the media, who has been basically knocking on our doors, making it out to all the campaigns, and basically running quite the task of some of the candidates themselves. You know, as you've been going from different campaign headquarters and different rallies and trying to get the message, as we've tried to convey it as best as possible to the people, I think you also need to be commended for a job well done. I, at this time, would like to thank each and every one of you that voted for me, and for those of you that did not vote for me, I still would like to thank you, because you have seen it fit to ensure that your vote and your choice was counted in and not counted out. And I think as a progressive country, that is what one could hope for. And we've seen it this election. The Honorable Premier who sits to my right, I stand corrected, but the previous Premier who sat in the first House of Assembly, I would like to thank him. He is a humble individual who has done a lot for this territory, and I would like to give him his flowers at this time, if one could use that phrase, if I could take that phrase a bit, to thank him for his commitment and his continued resilience in ensuring that these beloved Virgin Islands are moving in the right direction. I would also like to also acknowledge Honorable Omar Wallace Hodge, who has been one of the long-standing servants of the people for his hard work over the last couple of years. And I single them out because they've been some of the more long-standing individuals who have ran for and continue to serve these Virgin Islands. I would also like to, as I thanked all the members sitting around the table, I don't want to highlight any other persons, but to also thank the consultant and the vice president, as well as the executive members of the Virgin Islands Party, for ensuring that all these different members and persons that you see sitting around the table with our different personalities, that we were kept on track and that we stayed the course. Once again, I thank you, thank you, thank you. Just in case I forgot, I want to once again thank my family, my husband, who got, I think, more than he bargained for, some insight into what really goes into the campaign trail this election. And I really want to thank him for, being my right hand and to being, what one would consider the better half of me. I would also like to thank my children and my mother and my sister, and once again my committee, because it really was quite a lot going into the campaign. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Zoe Walcott McMillan. Can't go without thanking the media. The media has played a great role in terms of what has been done throughout the ages here in the Virgin Islands. I think per capita, we have more media coverage than any other place in the world. When you look at four online? 4 online. We have 2 TV stations. We have radio stations that I can't count right now. About 10 radio stations, don't we? And more to come. So per capita, I think we have the largest coverage of anywhere else that I can think of. And all in all, they've been quite down the line. They let the blogs flow as the blogs will come. They've been kind at sometimes, vicious at others, but they're here. Honorable Ketel Flax.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to first thank the grand geometrician of the universe for being here today. I would next like to thank my family for the support that I've received from them, especially my wife, Rosemary, who has been a tower of strength for me during this election. I would like to thank also the media who has supported us throughout this campaign. They have been there for us in getting our messages across, and I think that played a very important role in helping the general public at large to make up their minds in what they wanted to do. I believe the youth of this territory has played a defining role in this election, and we have to be mindful of their presence, their concerns, their needs, and pay close attention to that. I believe also that this country as a whole needs to be mindful of the fact that governments, even though we are put in power to make decisions, we have to be mindful of what their concerns are. As a country, we have to listen to what the public wants. Maybe there are some things we could have done differently. Maybe we did not listen enough. And people obviously made their decisions the way they did. I would like to congratulate the new government, especially our new Premier, the Honorable Orlando Smith and his team. And it's important that we throw our weight behind them, because we have to think of the country as a whole and not ourselves as individuals, because if the country fails, we all fail. I would also like to thank the members of my committee, my hard-working committee, who have been there for me, who have supported me, and who have, directed me in areas that I should concentrate my efforts. And for that, I'm very grateful. I like to say that quitters never win and winners never quit. And I am here as a citizen of this country to continue whatever I can do within my power to make sure that we move on. We are a great country, and in spite of the world economic recession, I believe that we have weathered the storm well, and we will continue to weather it in spite of all odds that might seem to be against the entire world. I also would like to encourage everyone. I would like to encourage everyone to throw their weight behind this government. And I would finally like to thank all the voters of this territory who have supported me. And also those of you who have not supported me, that was your democratic right to do. And once again, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes, I would like to, at this time, invite the Honorable Vernon E. Malone to come.
At this time, I would like to congratulate Dr. the Honorable Deolander Smith and his team for their victory at the polls. I will also like to congratulate those 4 members of the Virgin Islands Party who were successful at the polls. I, however, wish to urge the Virgin Islands Party to regroup and to continue to fight for what is good for this country. Our job is not over. It is important that we regard being in the opposition as a substantial part of governing. I will continue to advocate for what is good, being a community advocate, and condemning what is bad, and to offer whatever solution I might to the government and to my own party. I wish to thank my managing director, Isis Malone, who worked as hard as me, if not harder. I would like to thank my chairman, Mr. Alan Reimer, who worked tirelessly with my committee in doing their best to ensure my election, which did not occur. I will also like to thank all those people in the BVI community, the voting public, a number of whom called me and offered their prayers, they offered their support, and they offered goodwill, and I thank them for it. It is not my intention to pack up. It is my intention to continue to work for the betterment of this country in and out of politics. I thank the Almighty God for bringing me this far along the journey of my political career, and I shall continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Vernon E. Malone. Honorable Irene Penn O'Neill will come and greet you at this time.
I stand here really very humble and thanking God for His good mercies for where He has brought us from to where we are today. I want to begin to say that over my 4 years one thing that I have realized and come to recognize is that politics is not about me. It's about the people. And when one politician recognizes that we will begin to accept the decisions on any election and move on. I may have been knocked out, but I sure has not been knocked down. And this is my message to all of you here today who have lost, not only on my team, but on all the other parties who ran in this election. To those 30 of us who were unsuccessful, we have to keep at this. If we are serious about representing our people, we must stay with the game. Stay in touch, stay with the people, be concerned, and let us voice our opinion and speak out when necessary. I want to take this opportunity to really pay tribute and good congratulations to my honorable former Premier, who heads the Virgin Islands Party, the Honorable Ralph Telford Neal, and all my colleagues on Team Virgin Islands Party, for a job well done. We have a lot to be proud of because we have a legacy of 40 years of service in this country. And this is why I chose to run on the Virgin Islands Party ticket, to continue the legacy of which Team Virgin Islands Party have built over the years. I am very respectful of everyone's view, but that is my position. I want to take this opportunity to publicly thank and congratulate the Honorable Premier of this country, the Honorable Dr. D. Orlando Smith, of whom is my cousin. Today I'm very proud for him, I'm happy for him. I know it's going to be an awesome task for him to lead this country into the next 4 uncertain years. I also want to say my special friend, the Honorable Dr. Kedrick Pickering. I take my hat off to that gentleman. He has taught me a great deal in my political career over the last 4 years. He has shown me, he has cautioned me, he has explained to me the rules and regulations, and I was grateful for his guidance. Along with my other colleagues on my Team Virgin Islands Party, they played a vital role, but because of a friendship, it is not just about politics. And I do not let politics get involved with friendship. That I could stand here today and be counted to say congratulations. He is well deserving of the position today that he had, and I want to publicly congratulate him. I also want to congratulate all the other cabinet members who ran a very vigorous campaign. But what I would say to you is that where I think we as a government, as a party, lost the election, is that we portray out there and try to sell through you, the media, what is happening globally, the economy, the situation that the world economy has been faced with. And they in turn turned it on us, the government, and asked the people to hold us accountable for what is happening here, along with our issues with all the infrastructure projects that we had. Those with their spins that they put on it seem to reach the heart and souls of the people. The young people in particular, this is what they wanted to hear, and they said it just the right things. They had all the right things for the young people. And today, they are victorious. And one thing we must recognize is that the politics in this country has changed. The way we campaign, the way we portray ourselves as politicians is very much seen and viewed very differently from how it used to be. And I can say this because when my parents could have guided me where to vote over years, this is not the same today. We are in the 21st century. Technology was a big factor in this election. It was used tremendously to the young people's benefit, and this is another area that I think we need to look at, and we need to harness and make sure that next time around we are better at that game. I want to say thanks to my family, my siblings, my friends, those persons who supported me throughout my 4 years in the House of Assembly. It was a pleasure, an honor to serve you. It was an opportunity afforded to me by the people of this territory, and I will be forever grateful for their support. I wish to say to those persons from Joseph Van Dyke to Anegada who voted for us not just for me as the Virgin Islands Party at large candidate, but for the entire Virgin Islands Party. Thank you, thank you. You have given me the same 3,000 plus votes. It tells me something that the people still was very supportive of my candidacy. And I want to ensure to you that I will not disappear. I will stay involved. I will speak out on issues, and I will support the government in whatever area that I can do. I thank you very much, and I look forward to working with the new government.
Our Vice President is here. He'd like to say a few words, and I'd like to call Mr. Chichi Smith to come at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Malone. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd first like this afternoon to thank God for His goodness, His grace, and His mercies. I also want to thank the Virgin Islands Party for the opportunity to serve as Vice President, even at a time when I felt like Jonah in the race. But ladies and gentlemen, I can now look back and realize that we have prayed as a nation, and the Lord have answered our prayers. And the people have spoken, and we respect the wishes of this democratic society in the process. I'm thankful for that. I also want to thank Mr. Malone for sharing his experiences and knowledge with me in this area. On the campaign trail, we have worked tirelessly in the engine room, as I call it. I also want to thank the executive committee for their hard work, and the Congress in the way in which the congressional body operated in line with our Constitution. I also want to thank my wife for her patience as we were on the campaign trail most of the time together. Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to thank and congratulate, most of all, the Honorable Orlando Smith and his team for their victory at the polls. And indeed, the Virgin Islands is a beautiful place, and we need to come together and forge forward to take it from good to great. I thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you.